Between school, work, and kids over the last couple of years, I haven't had much opportunity to go fishing. Finally, some me time and my favorite trout hole. I can't wait. Clear water, good seagrass. I'm going to catch my dinner in no time. But wait, where's the grass? The grass is gone. What's going on? Where did it go? Okay, let's stop here. I'm Tim Clapp, and this isn't a story about my fishing trip. It's about science. So let's talk science. Science often begins with an observation or idea. In my case, I observed that the seagrass that had been all around my favorite fishing spot a couple of years ago was now gone. I needed to know where the seagrass went and whether this was a local problem or was it more widespread. I began with some reading. I found that seagrass loss is a worldwide problem. According to the St. John's Water Management District, which is charged with monitoring the health of the lagoon, there's been a 60% loss of seagrass since 2009. And in some areas, the losses have been more than 95%. This is huge because the lagoon contributes about $3.7 billion to our economy each year, and the seagrass provides habitat, nursery, and food for a variety of fish, crustaceans, and other creatures. It also helps with water clarity, stabilizes the floor of the lagoon, and protects the shoreline. I discovered that there are several causes for the seagrass loss. Freshwater pollution from stormwater runoff and the lowering of the level of Lake Okeechobee for hurricane safety, eutrophication, which is a scientific way of saying excess nutrients from fertilizer, animal waste, and sewage from the land running off into the water and causing algae blooms, which reduces the sunlight seagrass needs for photosynthesis. I was familiar with those causes, but there was one I had never heard of before: pathogenic infection. A pathogenic infection is like when you catch a cold or the flu. A pathogen is a disease-causing agent, a germ or a virus that makes you sick. It works the same way for seagrass. I needed to know more, so I talked to Dr. Justin Campbell at the Smithsonian Marine Station in Fort Pierce. He's been studying seagrass all over the world. He let me help with a pilot study to determine if seagrass has any natural defenses against some of these pathogens. Pollution and hotter temperatures creates stress on seagrass. Just like stress can make you more susceptible to getting sick, all this stress makes seagrass more susceptible to getting sick too. When you get sick, your body has defenses that fight the illness. We were going to find out if the same was true for seagrass. The first thing we did was collect samples of seagrass from around the lagoon and took them back to the lab where we prepared them for testing. We chemically removed all the metabolites, the molecules of the grass that helps it to live and defend itself and even gives it its color, and then we were ready to begin our experiment. Measured amounts of the metabolites were mixed with agar, a growth medium, and ejected into culture trays. Small pieces of the pathogens were placed on each of the samples. The trays were sealed and allowed to sit for a couple of days to give the pathogen time to grow. We then measured the amount of growth in each of the grass sample compartments. We were very happy to see that all of the grass samples appeared to inhibit the growth of the pathogens. This was really great news. At this point, we formulated our questions, constructed our investigation to answer the questions, and collected and evaluated the appropriate data. So what's next? Well, more questions. As I mentioned earlier, this was a pilot study used to determine if a full study was warranted, and it appears so. Now we need to begin testing a lot more seagrass to confirm our results. We also need to try to find out exactly what metabolite is causing the inhibition, and we need to try to answer the really big question: can our findings in any way help to save seagrass in the Indian River Lagoon? For more information about my research and the research of other ocean scientists, visit COSEEFlorida.org.